we have the holiday season coming up, right? And whether or not you celebrate the holidays you still feel the effects of the chaos that's all around us, right? Whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate, everybody around you seems to be in this chaotic and frenzy mode. And there can be so many different feelings and navigational points that come up during this. And so I really wanted to tap in and see how everyone is. Center yourself. How do you learn to give yourself space and compassion during these? How do we navigate these trying times? How do we take time for ourselves and not push ourselves and learn how to nurture and nourish our being while also navigating the stress of all of it, right? So even it's like my first time around in recovery in 12-step programs, I was very young, and it seems like a supernatural thing, right? For families to get intoxicated during the holiday season. And what I actually recognized once I stopped using drugs and alcohol was that actually being super intoxicated during the holiday season isn't necessarily a normal thing. It just seemed normal to me because that's what I grew up with. And despite me navigating life without substances, it can be difficult to be around people when there is a lot of drinking. Really, I just choose not to. However, I can also understand that the pressure to be around family is like a real thing, right? I felt like it's expected of me to be a part of family, even if they were living in a way that I didn't want to be a part of. I felt the expectation because they were family that I had to also sacrifice what was comfortable for me because I was family. And like today, I don't subscribe to that belief because my sanity is more important than doing the expectations there. And I understand that some people really have family very interwoven and tightly knit. So for me, it's a little different because a lot of my family, but I don't have a lot of family anymore. Like I had a ton of death when I was younger. I have two kids and they have a big family on their dad's side. So they go over there. But for me, I really don't have that much of a family anymore to that I need to have the expectations of. However, the feeling, the sadness, the grief, the expectations that I need to show up a certain way, I still see that happening within myself. So one of the things that I became really accustomed to doing, and not just during the holiday season, but at any function, any type of social gathering, I have my earbuds. I bring my earbuds with me everywhere because listening to music, I know really helps ground me and centers me, and it helps me to take a higher approach. So I'm able to actually, when in social situations, when out and about with other people, I can actually just say, I just need a few minutes. Please just let me go be like, I'm okay. But I really just need to step away and ground myself and center myself. Because honestly, sometimes I can get overstimulated and it can be a little much. The music that I listen to is very uplifting and very energizing. And so that really helps for me to stay centered. But if you aren't a music person, even just I have just been like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go step outside or I'm gonna go in a different room and give me 20 minutes and I'll be back. Nothing's wrong. Nobody did anything wrong. I just need some time to myself." And honestly, that has been one of the most tools effective self-care techniques and tools that I have learned to speak up for myself in all of these like situations and gatherings because it can seem, like when I was new in recovery, I stayed away from places that had any alcohol and I didn't go to places where I knew people would be overly like obnoxious and any of those trigger places or people I did stay away from because to me, like I was in and out of recovery for so long, for so many times that I just not that I didn't care what people thought of me, but it was like I just became willing to do all the things that I didn't do in the past. And like staying away from those people were some of those things. As I had mentioned earlier, I had a lot of family that died at a young age, and not necessarily alcohol or drug related, but just like health issues that came from the stress of alcoholism and mental health disorders. And this maybe in a sense it was connected to addiction and alcoholism. After a lot of my family had passed, holiday season, right? And so many friends of mine have passed from addiction and drinking. Yeah, wow. As I think about it, I get emotional. And so the holidays also bring up grief and loss, and the holidays then bring up a lot of feelings of loss and sadness and grief. And it's how to work through those, how to work through those. I don't know if I have an exact answer for that. I just allow myself to experience the sadness because it is. The more I attempted to not feel those things, the more that I attempted, the more difficult it became. The more I attempted to run from feelings and the sadness, the stronger it became for me. So to honor the space and the memories and to shift my perspective to the beautiful things that I have had with people, that helps to shift the perspective and to ease some of the sadness, but really it's still difficult. I'm not going to lie. It is difficult when you have lost a lot of people, no matter the circumstances, right? I can remember also being new in recovery and after having just not had a job or income or any of those things, being really ungrounded, new in recovery, then feeling like I had to give gift to my kids and to my family and feeling unworthy and feeling feelings of worthlessness and really a lot of honestly, it was a lot of self pity. So, and that was a perpetual cycle for me. But what I do recognize, like I assured myself, it's okay for me to have those feelings, right? It's okay to have those feelings because so much of society places our worth on what we can give to others when really like me just being free of substances and being present with my kids is like one of the biggest gifts that I have given them and also for my family. I gave the gift of them not needing to worry if I was dead or that's a that's a profound one. Wow. I gave the gift of presence and I gave the gift of presence of being alive and being able to be here with them. And that in itself, right? Like I could have told myself that was, oh great, I'm just here and what a piece of shit I am. Like, however, I did snap out of that eventually. So I really am not sure like getting worthiness and the expectations of how society is also one of is very difficult. And just being there with myself and I really just allowed myself to just feel that way, knowing that those feelings, what I was feeling wasn't my truth, but also knowing that this is just a small part of it. This is also temporary, right? This isn't a permanent thing. This isn't going to be forever. And really navigating that with kindness to myself and also recognizing that other people, even when people have like the finances to give, it's still super stressful because what do we all do to give gifts and how much do we give to give? And it's a lot. It's learning the self compassion and learning the nurturing aspects and learning how to really step back and see what really matters. And a lot of that for me, how many times I faced death, how many times I faced being left without power or in my apartment or in my place and really taking a look and a higher perspective as to, okay, the stresses and expectations that are put on me are really by society and by all of that because gifts, they don't show how much I care. They don't show the love that I feel in my heart. What can I, or how can I actually be present and show people my presence, my heart, what I truly want? And how, and that was to be like engaging and, or maybe not if I had a crappy app, but I was there and I wasn't high and I wasn't drunk and things got to be a little bit easier every time. And so, and that an invitation. How can we give gifts without giving gifts? How can we give presents without giving presents? How can we tap into what's really important and remind us that us being us is a beautiful thing, that it is no matter what we have to offer, we are lovable and we are worthy of love. And at times when it is like so much going on, it's very easy to talk down to ourselves, but you are worthy because you are here. You are worthy because you're breathing and you have so much love to give. And I feel like for me, that has been the biggest gift I've been able to give. And every holiday season, I come up with creative little ways to be able to give in a way that I don't feel like I'm putting myself out. And so that would be an invitation for you too. In what way, what other ways can we give that isn't like giving in the normal sense? I look forward to being able to share this space again. And until next time, sending all my love.